What do Google, Apple, and Amazon all have in common? And how do they relate to Wandering Wads? In the beginning, their names didn't mean anything. They only meant something to the creator. Welcome to Wandering Wads, where we talk about all things mindset. Why? Because mindset is the master key. It will unlock the door to the life that you want, but it's on you to determine what's on the other side. Picture this. It's 1996, it's a beautiful fall day in California, and you're sitting in your shared office space at Stanford University. You and your business partner are sitting there discussing the possible names for your web-based search engine. The original name Backrub comes up. Backrub? Sure, for all the backlinks of the internet. However, one of you suggests something maybe a little less touchy-feely. Maybe something that correlates or relates to the massive amount of information that your search engine is going to have to process. One of you suggests Googleplex, and the other one suggests Google for short. A couple of side notes because I thought they were interesting. We all know that Google is spelled G-L-E, where Google, when they were naming it, is spelled G-O-L. And how G-L-E came about was because it was misspelled when they filed for the website. Another note, I had to look up what a Google was because I didn't know. So if you don't know, follow along. A Googleplex is a 1 followed by a Google of zeros. Basically, a Googleplex is a 1 to the Google power. And a Google is 10 to the 100th power, or 10 followed by 100 zeros. Now let's travel back a decade to the mid-80s, and you're Steve Jobs. You're sitting in your garage with your buddy Steve Wozniak, and you guys are trying to think of names for your new computer company. You're sitting there snacking on some fruit because you're on one of your fruit diets. You're sitting there reminiscing about your recent trip to a place called the Apple Orchard. As you take a bite, it hits you. Apple. Of course. It's not intimidating, it's simple, and it starts with an A, so you'll be listed at the top of all of the directories. You'll even be ahead of Atari. Fast forward again to the late 90s. We've all seen this famous picture of Jeff Bezos sitting alone in his office at the early stages of Amazon, with the name spray painted on the wall. Now think back about 5 years before that. Bezos actually wanted to name the company Cadabra, as in abracadabra. But no, somebody suggested that it was a little too obscure, and it could lead to mistaken identity. So as he was sitting there looking for inspiration for his name, he stumbled across the name Amazon. And what better fit? It's the world's largest river, and what he was trying to build was the world's largest online bookstore. So in the beginning, does the name really matter? As Shakespeare wrote, "What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet." What I think that he's saying is basically that the name doesn't give the object meaning. The characteristics of the object, or what the object is, what it embodies, is what gives the name meaning. Take the previous examples one step further. Your name, or even my name. Think back to when your parents were naming you, or if you have kids, when you were naming them. The name was just a differentiator from everyone else. So does the name really matter? The simple answer is no. It's what you do with your life that gives your name meaning. I'd like to take a quick break to recognize the sponsor of today's episode, and that's you. You see, this channel is a labor of love. I don't have big sponsors lining up to support me. The good news is, supporting the show costs you absolutely nothing, but it makes a world of difference. So here are a few easy things that you can do to support the show. If you haven't already, subscribe or follow the show. It's a small gesture, but it goes a long way to show me that you want to see more. If you're enjoying this content, smash that like button. It's like giving this channel a virtual high five. And don't forget to ring that notification bell. This way it ensures that you don't miss the next time an episode drops. Speaking of drops, drop a comment down below. I love hearing from you. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, or a general comment on the content. If you're tuning in on your favorite podcast platform, leave me a quick review. It would mean the world to me. And it helps others discover the show and keeps the momentum going. And of course, if you found value in today's episode, please share it with a friend. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Your support makes a real impact. Now, let's get back to the action. Google. Just a silly word? In fact, it's the #1 search engine in the world. It's how we access much of the information in this world. And it's a verb. Oh, I'll just go Google that. What would I do without Google? Apple. What does an apple have to do with a computer company, with a tech company? Absolutely nothing. However, it is now not only a brand, but it's a lifestyle to many. And Amazon, just the world's largest river? No. It is synonymous with online shopping. Okay, so Josh, why are we talking about this today? This is where it gets personal. I had to remind myself of these stories because I let something as simple as the name stand in my way from moving forward. Right now, the name Wandering Wads doesn't mean anything to anybody, and that's okay. So what does it mean, Wandering Wads? Well, Wads, that's pretty simple. It's part of my last name. It's actually what a lot of my friends call me, and it's how we describe our family a lot of times, the Wads clan. But wandering, where does that come from? Well, quite a few years ago when we started our YouTube channel, we were actually traveling quite a bit, and we decided we wanted to document our travels and our adventures. And the name Wandering Wads just kind of flowed off the tongue really well. But as time went on, those adventures slowed, and we took on new adventures in our life. But I still like the name Wandering Wads. However, I was a little bit ashamed of it, because honestly, it didn't really fit with my agenda, what I wanted to do with this show, and the content I wanted to share. Nor did it fit with my purpose and my why. Until I remembered the passage from the Lord of the Rings.
Nerd alert!
All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost.
The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes, a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. For renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again
shall be king. This passage has a lot of meaning for me, for a few reasons, but especially the line, not all those who wander are lost. You see, the definition of wander is to walk or move aimlessly. Now sure, we wander through life, but that's because life doesn't come with an owner's manual or an instruction manual. It doesn't come with a map leading you on your path. However, we should live a life based on our goals, our dreams, wrapped around our purpose. So what's in a name? It doesn't mean anything to anybody, and that's okay. It's a starting point, a differentiator, and a label. And more importantly, it's a story waiting to happen. The name doesn't matter right now. What matters is what you do with this life. The value that you create and the lives that you touch. As we wander through this life, it's not about having a perfect name, a perfect plan, a perfect path. It's about having the courage to move forward. And not in absence of fear, but in spite of fear. So to anyone out there, including myself, if you're afraid to take that first step or take that next step because of the fear of the unknown, because of a minute detail, remember, speed bumps, not roadblocks. And think back to those iconic names. In the beginning, they didn't mean anything. What matters is what you do next. And speaking of what you should do next, subscribe and follow. Smash that like button and ring that notification bell. And then click this video and watch an open and honest conversation I had with myself, pushing me to take that next step. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Thank you. We'll catch you next time.